Keeper Aquilus, can we have a moment?
Oh, Mateo. It's been too long. How are your parents? Your mother still struggling with that azalea garden?
No, she figured that out a while ago. Had to adjust the pH levels in the soil. But, Keeper, I didn't come to catch up.
Oh, well, what's on both your minds? Oh, yeah. How humanity comes together. How we are to love each other even as our universe becomes even more complex.
That's not exactly what we mean. Keeper, when you talk about unity, well, does it mean anything else? Something secret?
Perhaps you should talk about this inside. Now that we have a little privacy, why don't you tell me exactly what it is that brought you two here?
They're like nothing we've ever seen, Keeper. Gravitational distortion, sub-audio harmonic sequencing, unidentifiable energy fluctuations.
I caught half of that. So, these things are unusual? Even in your experience? There have always been mysteries that seem to defy our understanding of the universe. Beyond rational thought. We enter life as an act of someone else's faith in us. There's no way of knowing who we will become, and yet the risk is made anyway. So you've pushed into the unknown, not knowing where it would take you. And it's brought you here. I think I can. If you're willing to find your way in the dark for a bit longer, I can give you a path to discovering its meaning. There's an old story, far older than the Sanctum Universum, of someone who walked the settled systems and saw every corner of it. This pilgrim claimed he found the true meaning of unity. I always thought of it as just a parable for trying to bring humanity together, but maybe it's more. In my story, the pilgrim met the founders of the House of Enlightenment and the enigmatic cult of the Varun, and he gave them each a part of the truth. Then he goes to his final resting place to live out the rest of his days in contemplation of infinitum addendum, his addition or contribution to the infinite. But what if the story isn't a metaphor, but a code, a way of finding the pilgrim again, or at least his grave? Yes, something must be there. I just can't put my finger on it. Maybe the answer will become clear when we have more. The House of Enlightenment and Varun have versions of this story. The enlightened work out of the well here in New Atlantis, helping the poorest citizens find a better life for themselves. Varun worshippers are more enigmatic, but there is a lone zealot that was captured recently for attacking UC ships. I visited her a couple of times. Hopefully she'll be willing to talk to you as well.
I'll stay here with the Keeper. We need to catch up. And I wouldn't mind asking him a few more questions.
That neon fella.
You have another story for me? Of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? I swear you're either a trouble magnet or something. So, SysDef finally, and against all odds, really triumphed against the Crimson Fleet. In their own backyard, no less. How were you involved? So what do you do for an encore? So, the Vigilants went toe-to-toe with everything the Crimson Fleet could throw at them. And somehow, almost miraculously, they captured the key. The key itself. I've confirmed that with many sources. Anything to add? Someone seriously owes you a beer. Hell, a keg. You have to feel good about how everything turned out. Commander Ikande is being hailed a hero. And SysDef's popularity is at an all-time high. Your thoughts? The UC did kind of spawn this monster. And like you said, it might finally be dealt with. And that's all I need. You really do lead an extraordinary life. And as a, well, possibly embarrassing personal note, thank God for you. You have that look in your eye. What's the scoop? What a sordid mess. You've got some other sources we've been interviewing, but I'd love to get your take on the record. So there was a mercenary company, the First, and they were involved in taking farmlands from Freestar Collective families. Extortion, death threats, murder, all of it. Is that right? Not going to say. I will never, ever give up my source. If anybody asks about you, they get the same answer. I genuinely don't know how people like that can live with themselves. So all of that? Terrible. But Ron Hope, the Ron Hope, was involved with it at the highest level. All of that suffering was a plot to save Hope Tech from going under using the side effects of a fertilizer he developed. Let me be blunt. The other sources say you killed Ron Hope. Is that correct? And all that money didn't help in the end. After all of that, the future of Hope Tech is an open question. Their stock has already taken a beating. Not sure if it's going to go into freefall. Any comment? For what it's worth, I'm rooting for them too. Thanks. If you listen to the news, you'll definitely hear this. And, maybe try not to ice any more CEOs. Just a thought.
I bet whoever came up with bad news travels fast wasn't taking interstellar distances into account.
I already interviewed an ex-pirate about the robbery. But she was as reliable as good coffee around here. So you were there when it went down? What were you doing there? Why do I get the feeling you're often in that situation? Tell me about this Captain Petrov. I've heard he's a bit of an eccentric. What was your impression of him? I would have loved to have seen it. I'm sure it would make a good story right there. No one seems to know exactly what was stolen, but everyone agrees it was valuable. Care to shed some light on it? Artifact, you say? I've been hearing whispers about those lately. Last question. About, and I'm quoting, a zoo gone wild. The other source swore up and down that alien creatures got out of their cages and went on a rampage. Please, please, please tell me she was telling the truth. It's got to be some Aurora-induced hallucination. Some days, it is worth it to get out of bed. I love it. This is just a plain old good story. Check the newsfeed for it later. And here's your payment. If you have a news story for me, I'm very happy to pay your fee. You certainly get around. I'm surprised that branch has any customers left the number of times it's been held up. But I thought the Rangers had finally managed to get a handle on it. I heard there was a standoff. That true? I hear the robbers are provided free of charge. All part of the service. What happened to the robbers? The Shaw gang? Wait, what? You cleaned them out? Jesus. I'm sorry, but I might have to dig up some witnesses to confirm that. Anyway, these things are often messy. Any customers or Galbank staff get hurt? That's really good news. Usually, well, it's a different kind of story. You were there. You were involved in resolving it. Any comment on the Freestar Rangers? Having another high-profile robbery in their own backyard is a bit of a black eye. Huh. That's really good to know. Stories like this always fire up public outrage and appetite. Thanks for the interview. And take this. When you first walked into my office, I had no idea you would be at the center of so much. And I get the feeling you're not sharing everything. I might surprise you, but I understand. I talked with the editor, and he authorized a special bonus for someone who's worked with us so long. And maybe one day, years from now, you can fill me in on the stories you didn't want broadcast. Take care, Constellation. Your stories are a big hit. You lead well, an amazing life. We're short-staffed, overworked, and trying to report on a million things at once. Not to mention there's a constant battle with the powers that be to maintain our journalistic principles. So, things are just swell. Dear Lord, everyone wants to know about Baron. He's a smart guy. He cares about what he's reporting. He's way too damn cozy with the UC, and that's a problem for us staying impartial. My biggest beef with him is he's credited with everything he reports, and he doesn't lift a finger to correct that impression. Hope to see you again. Not there, huh?
I've flown across most of the settled systems in all manners of spacecraft, and yet I still get sick on the Nat. I've always liked that statue. It's beautiful, isn't it? I wonder what the artist was trying.
You have a nice day now.
A visitor? I have all the company I need. Jokes. You come to hear about Varun. Like the guards. Like the Keeper.
I don't think it was a joke. it was an attempt at some genuine sympathy.
The Great Serpent waits in the shadows. He will entwine the universe, and all but the faithful will be made as dust. That is the truth. No more, no less.
Anything you could tell us would be tremendously helpful.
Yes, I have spoken to your keeper about this. I will tell you what I told him, and then you will leave me. Jinan Varun meets the unbeliever. He gives false prophecy to Jinan. But such is Jinan's conviction in the Great Serpent, he does not hesitate. He cuts the unbeliever down. But the unbeliever returns. Jinan realizes the Great Serpent is testing him, and he will not be found wanting. 4 times they fight. Over 120 rotations of the planet they are on. Remember these 4 battles, Jinan, the unbeliever says. Remember these 120 rotations. But Jinan knows this is blasphemy and delivers the killing blow. That is all. I have heard of no such thing. If it exists, it is a shadow that the Great Serpent casts to deceive the faithless. Then we are done. Leave me.
Keep your nose clean. Last thing I want is to charge you for a
It might not be Jemison. This ship is starting to feel like home.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done in the well. A lot of people in need. If it's about the financial or food assistance programs, we are backlogged. Don't worry, we're doing everything we can. Oh, you're not? Sorry. Can I help you?
We don't mean to be intrusive. Any information you could provide would be very useful.
Listen, I've talked about this with him a ton of times, and there's no record of a Unity pilgrim. But since you both insist, our early records are mostly administrative. Humanitarian projects, group counseling notes, charity expenditures. But there is a series of exchanges the founding members recorded in a lot of detail. It's the closest thing I have to what Aquilas is describing. a man walks into the first House of Enlightenment. The founding members just call him the Drifter. So they think he's a charity case at first, but no, the Drifter asks them a bunch of questions. If your philosophy is built on an individual's own morality, what about the second person? That second person might disagree. Isn't the problem of two what you're really looking for? And the founders respond, each individual must understand how the second person lifts them up. All of human effort is a story of cooperation pushing us forward. And it kind of goes on like that. He comes back every week for a year. Same conversation every time. Second person this, the problem of two that. Honestly, I think the founding members made it all up. There was a little more hesitation being openly atheist in the early days. I think they were experimenting with writing their own scripture. Fortunately, that got abandoned pretty quick. After the records of the Drifter end, you never see anything like it again. Besides what the Keeper would say about it, sounds like a gathering point or a center. Or in mathematics, it would mean one, like the one, the first or the beginning. Always happy to help. If you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of aid efforts to coordinate. Nice talking to you. Hope you find perfect. It just so happens there's a task I need help with right now. Indeed. Sometimes it just works out that way. People with mutual interests seek each other out, and by working together, we achieve something greater than ourselves. As for the job, I need you to pick up a man named Tahir over at the medbay. He's recovering from some injuries and needs assistance getting back to his apartment. I'd like you to pick him up, grab a bite to eat, and take him home. Great, you'll find him over at the medbay. He's probably hungry, so after you pick him up, escort him over to Kay's. She should have a meal ready for him to take home. And thanks.
All right, Molly, coming or not, this is the last time I'm gonna offer.
I don't need your help. I can walk home on my own.
Suit yourself. But if you get lost or end up in a cell, don't blame me. I tried to help.
Yeah.
You're in the Vanguard, right? Hey, thanks for your service.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know where the soccer nets are? My apartment's in the same area. I got a bad case of the brain fog, and I can't seem to remember which way to go. Really? Is this some sort of scam? I'll have you know, I got no creds. Really? Doesn't happen too often around here, but maybe you're new. All right, you win. Seeing as I got no one else, might as well roll the dice with a stranger. So, go on, lead the way.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself.
Always nice to see a
Understand?
fresh face around.
No causing
I've got
trouble.
it right here. Is this for you to hear?
Well, I don't have any credits, so...
Then you're good. I already talked to Andy, and this one's on the house.
Thanks, Kay.
You're welcome, kid. It's just good to see you alive and well. You know, there was a time when you'd be in here every night.
Things change, Kay.
I know. Believe me, I know. And I get it's hard to come out here, but just... don't be a stranger, okay?
I'm sorry, I'll try not to.
Good. I'm glad we got that sorted. Here's the soup. Be careful, it's a little hot.
Here we are. Home sweet home. I didn't realize we were neighbors, but not surprising. People don't have a lot of reasons to be friendly around here. But thanks for the help. I probably would have found it on my own, but it would have been a chore. Oh, right, the soup from Kay's. Man, it's been a long time since I had a warm meal. You might say that. Before I got hurt, I used to stop by Kay's every night for a soup and a sandwich. It didn't matter how bad my day was, or how empty my pockets were. As long as I had my food and my beer, I'd be good. All that weight would just wash away. And to be honest, I haven't felt that feeling in ages. Until now. So, you doing this for me, it means a lot. Thanks. Thanks. I didn't know what to make of you at first. Not often you can trust a stranger down here. I'm glad I did.
Nice to meet you. There are always about a million questions.
Oh, you're back. What did you learn? Was there something hidden in their stories, like we thought? Planets are often named by number. That second might mean the second planet in the system. What else did you learn? If there really is a location the Pilgrim wanted us to find, those do sound awfully like coordinates. Was there anything else? Yes. What he added to infinity. Maybe that points to a name. If we're looking for his resting place, we'd need to know the name of the star system, wouldn't we? Let's see. We have something that could be coordinates. Something that could point to a planet in the system. But what's the name of the system? Infinitum addendum. What if we break down the parts? No systems named finite or add. That just leaves in and dumb. Well, that's certainly how I feel. Well, I suppose that'll make someone laugh. Yes, that's it. The second planet in Indum, at 4 and 120. That's where you'll find the Pilgrim's resting place. And from there, maybe you'll find the true meaning of unity. Before you go, You've now spoken to many different perspectives in our universe. In a way, you'll be carrying their philosophies with you on this journey. I know you're looking for a specific unity, but if you had to guess what it was, what interpretation would you give it? But what makes something like that holy? Gravity is also a force that brings things together. Should that be sanctified? It is one of the great contradictions of belief. We feel the presence of something out there, but we insist that it is also everywhere. So you think this word unity describes that divine unknowableness that the pilgrim searched for?
Ancient humans thought the concept of gravity was miraculous. Until we know more about the Unity, we also could be jumping to the wrong conclusions.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. This has been fun, I have to admit. Go, find your truth.
Aha! The eye is always open to constellation.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
In reference to Vladimir, I am told that solitude can either be beneficial or detrimental, depending on
Never minded the solitude before, but chasing more ghosts than usual. Every noise seems to set the blood running. The spanner's torque is what the eye needs now. We'll fix her good as new. Found one. Easy as a needle in the stack. Hope those powers you're getting to overinflate you. Got enough egos in Constellation.
Locks, air pressure, drive, all good to go, Captain. Woo! I love the feeling after a perfect jump.
Wrong place, wrong time. Shit. It's the Mantis! Mantis!
Ah! Got their grand drive. Bam! Their shields are gone. landing site is clear. Let's head down.
Fire up your hand scanner. I bet you'll find plenty here to catalogue.
uncovering the mysteries of the universe. This is exactly what Constellation is all about.
I picked up something you might be interested in.
You are entering United Colony space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. All right, we're done. You're cleared to land at New Atlantis.
Time to cycle the airlock and move.
The Eye continues to be operational.
Been washing red here and there. You've tipped my ear. Been poring over the charts, looking for another match. Think this one might just be it.
I have something for you when you have a moment.
They may be a little preachy, but they're decent people. I'm making another run out of New Atlantis, taking Universals out in the stars. To get closer to God and to appreciate the galaxy and all its majesty. Space travel is dangerous, but fortunately, most ships don't engage us. Whether it's respect for our religious beliefs or the fact that we carry only passengers, I don't know. Have you ever felt something spiritual while traveling the stars? I've jumped dozens of times, and I still don't know I've had the revelation that Keeper Aquilus describes. But I'll keep jumping. Your heart is open to it. That's good. It was a pleasure talking with you. We have to be going. But I hope God watches over you out there in the stars.
Landing initiated. Watch your flaring.
Maybe you can get that to point us to the nearest restaurant. Ah.
Coming here is the sort of thing I dreamed of when I was a child. I'll never get used to seeing that.
I have things for you.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. And complete. Enjoy your stay in New Atlantis.
Nice clean dock, Captain.
The eye sustained damage in the starboard.
The spanner's torque is what the eye needs now. We'll fix her good as new. Never minded the solitude before. Got one. I'd go into the astronomical charting data with you, but clear as day just to point you right to it.
Landing gear is ready. Sight is clear.
We'll be lucky if we pull anything organic off this rock.
Hi. Please disregard. I attempted an informal greeting, but I am dissatisfied with the results.
They're like nothing else in the settlement.
things for you.
It is pleasing to speak with you.
Did you need my help with something?
Great. Now I'm more tired than when we went to bed.
Hello again.
Landing site locked. Take us in.
What an incredibly beautiful sculpture. I suspect it was placed here for some sort of specific purpose, rather than as an artistic statement.
I picked up something you might be interested in.
It can't be. You found me. I knew I made the right choice in letting you go. You did. Now it's all starting to make sense. You should come aboard. There's another Starborn here who is very interested in meeting you.
I can speak for myself. Constellation ship, you weren't invited to this meeting, but much of our conversation has been about you. It's only fitting you should join us. I will personally guarantee your safety as long as you come in peace.
And think of it as a ceasefire meeting. Your one shot at getting those answers you must desperately want. Not a bad description, actually.
We'll explain when we meet. In person.
Let's just say they're very dedicated to stopping me from getting the artifacts. So if you don't trust me, well, they're your next best bet.
I know your encounters with our kind have not been pleasant, but we are here to talk, and you deserve answers.
Good. See? We can all get along. For now.
And we're docking.
Hello. Again. You remember the emissary, perhaps? And their ship, the Helix? I believe they ambushed you above Neon and demanded that artifact you worked so hard to gain.
Thank you for the stellar introduction. Your success is unprecedented. Before you came, we were just discussing how continued use of force against you is unwise. Yes, we did. We are not a monolithic people. The Starborn are individuals. Some are united in cause. Others are in it for themselves.
We're all in it for ourselves. Some of us are just more honest. The emissary threatened your ship, demanded you hand over your artifact. How is that so different from what I did?
We needed to warn you off. Every encounter with one of our kind could spell disaster.
For whom, exactly? I say whoever can collect them should. And who gets to say that? You? Me? The emissary? I have debated morality for near infinity, and all I have found are groups of people enforcing their will on others. Rules and laws spoken as principles, but backed by arms and violence.
Enough. We have more to discuss. The Unity. You are on the path to it. It is a place, a gateway. It is where we were reborn.
So, I gotta say, this part is more awkward than I thought. Hiding my face was way easier. I'm not who you think I am. This universe is only the first one you've been to. I've seen hundreds. What I came from, I was the one who ran to the Eye. I left you behind to protect the artifacts. And the Hunter killed you.
One of me, at least.
I collected the remaining artifacts, and they opened the way to the center of my universe, and the doorway to an infinite number of others. That is the Unity. When I stepped into it, I became a Starborn. It's how I've entered other worlds, including yours. I have to. This is bigger than all of us. All the artifacts are needed to complete the armillary and open the way to the Unity. In every universe, the Starborn fight over them. Innocent people die. You've witnessed the power granted by the temples, the anarchy that can be unleashed. Someone has to decide who should get them.
Here it comes. The emissary tells you only the worthy should enter heaven.
You're twisting what I mean.
They're hypocrites. They use the chaos caused by the hunt for the artifacts to establish an order where they decide who's worthy. I attacked your lodge because I wanted the artifacts, and you held me off. You got away. That wasn't some morality play. You didn't survive because of righteousness. You won because of persistence, luck, and skill. As I have done countless times.
I was also human once. But what does it matter who or what I was when eternity is within your grasp? You're learning. My other self wants you to walk the path he walks, to give up, to appreciate the universe you have. Easy for a person who's seen everything, done everything. I think you should see it for yourself.
You've never come this far. Not in all the universes I've seen. The path to the Unity is opening to you.
You're going to tip the scales one way or another. Better your hand be on one of our sides. Bingo.
want a truce. Between all three of us, I will give you some time to think over which approach to the Unity is the one you want. Mine, or the Hunters.
Yes, let's see how willing you are to live under someone else's rules. Just remember, one of us isn't trying to judge you. The emissary and their kind only want to control you. They enter the Unity, take artifacts from others, employ force. All the things I do. I am many things, but I would never tell anyone what to do with their gifts. That is your decision, not someone else's. The emissary wants to become the judge of who gets to enter, but the Unity itself doesn't judge. Whoever created the artifacts and built those temples is playing a game with us. One whose prize is access to the center of all creation. There are no rules. Whoever gets all the pieces wins. And I've won. Over and over. I don't kill for the Unity. I find the easiest pathway to it. I've simply found that it's the quickest way. Talking, forming alliances, waiting for the right moment to commit theft. It's all so tiresome. I'll admit, you getting away has been the most interesting thing to happen in quite some time. As soon as I realized what had happened, I knew I needed to wait until this meeting with the emissary to decide what to do about you. To see what would happen, of course. You might not understand just how many times I've done this. Usually, you're the one who ends up dead, and whoever cries over your body goes on to become the emissary. Sometimes I manage to get you all bunched up and take care of the problem in one go. Sometimes the emissary has gotten to me first, and I never arrive. Hundreds and hundreds of variations of me, packing through Constellation. And it's almost never you. You making it to your ship on your own. That's new. I took it as a sign. I don't get many of those anymore. No, we always end up having this meeting at this time. But it's the usual affair. Can we make peace? No. Oh, how tragic. Honestly, I was beginning to wonder why I kept tending. And it's a bad habit I started a long time ago. Perhaps I just like meeting the emissary to gloat. But you have provided something quite new to talk about. Maybe you're a random die roll. Or maybe the Unity is finally responding to all my hard work.
I know we're not the same people we met in our universes. Still, it's good to see you again, old friend. I'll tell you everything I can. Different. I never know who you are when I meet a new version. But so much of you stays the same. It's hard, but each universe is precious in its own way. Mine will never have its original you in it again. As yours won't have its real me. It is not an easy experience to describe, but the Unity will speak to you, offer you the chance to become Starborn. You will be leaving this universe behind to be reborn. Everything you were before will be gone. Maybe that's why it offers the choice. Compassion, or is it testing us? You've seen the terror the Hunter causes. Every time a Starborn goes through the Unity, they get more artifacts, find more temples, gain more power. We can't let more like him abuse these gifts to destroy whatever's in their way. When all the artifacts are assembled, the device they create is called the Armillary. In many ways, it's a model of the multiverse itself. Through it, you can reach the Unity. And from there, you can become Starborn. Before you leave, I want to give you something. A way to another artifact, but also a lesson in how dangerous they can be. Seek the moon of old Earth. There are secrets there you must discover for yourself. Here, to open the way. And I am sorry we have not always been forthcoming. I hope you will see what I have seen. You should also talk to your colleagues in Constellation. I am sure they have gathered more information on the remaining artifacts in the fringes of space. Part of me wonders what they will all say about what you have learned. But I will leave that to you.